ago, maybe 6 years ago now, before we even started teaching live events, we were in Kauai. And if any of you have ever been to Kauai, it's quite a magical place. And we were in Hanalei Bay on the beach one day under the trees. And Hanalei Bay is where the song Puff the Magic Dragon was written about Hanalei Bay. So that gives you a sense. If you know that song, if you're old like me, you know Puff the Magic Dragon. And I started thinking, how could I create a class that combined my love of Ayurveda, of yoga, of shamanic journey work, of coaching, of emotional balancing, all these things together in a form that could be taught by coaches in their communities and community centers, in yoga centers, in hospitals, in schools, gyms. And what came to me pretty quickly was these 21 journeys, 21 3-minute experiences that we're going to do together. So if you don't like one, don't worry, it's going to be over really soon. And they work by being stacked together. That is one of the things. You can use them to teach a client individually, so feel free to take anything that you're learning and use it with an individual client. You can use it for groups of like 3 of the journeys. You'll see when we're doing them. But there's a couple journeys that I kind of want to do a little cautioning for everyone at home too. And one is a air journey where we imagine that we're flying or leaving our body, or you can imagine that you become a bird or you're in a special spacecraft. But if anyone has had abuse or trauma where to protect themselves, they left their body, that could remind them of that state. And so I caution that if that feels like, yeah, that might happen to me, don't do the journey. Just eyes open, stretch your legs, watch everyone, focus on your breath. It's okay to hear the words. Don't try to do that if it doesn't feel comfortable to you. The other thing is when we twist, some people who might have back issues or knee issues, twist how your body wants to twist today. Twist your hands, twist your neck, whatever works. You don't have to twist your spine. Or if you don't want to move at all, people do this who have no mobility. Imagine that you are twisting. Just create an imaginary sense of your body and experience what it would be like to have that body moving. I do work with people who have no mobility and they do this whole process and really enjoy it. Our next journey is called Core Connection with the Pulse, and I'm going to teach you Ayurvedic pulse reading right now that helps you bring your maximum true health into today, the health you were born with. Hopefully we were all born pretty healthy. So women are going to take their pulse on their left hand and men on their right. So I read with my right hand on my left wrist, and men do the opposite. And you see where you get some wrinkles right on your wrist when you bend it? You're going to want to put your 3 fingers right below there. And gently start to notice how your pulse feels. And you may need to move your fingers around a little bit. Noticing as you deepen the pressure of your fingers against your wrist. Notice if you feel a jumping pulse that feels like a bounce. That would be a pitta pulse, like a frog jumping. Notice if you feel a steady, slow, rhythmic pulse like a swan gliding. That would be kapha, water and earth. Pitta is fire, frog is fire. Notice if it might be coming and going, your pulse. It's there one moment and then it's gone the next. Slithering like a snake. There and then gone. Welcome, welcome. Come, there's room up here. You might notice that the pulse is more in your index finger or your middle finger or your ring. Just notice that. And now take that deeper pressure and gently lighten the pressure of your fingers, bringing your most organic, deepest health to the surface of today. So you deepen the pressure of your fingers against your skin, feeling the pulse strongly, and then you lighten the pressure, bringing that pulse to the top of the skin. Welcome, welcome. So feel that deeper pulse, and then lighten the touch of the fingers, bringing that rhythm of your heart to the surface of today. And maybe think of a time in your life where you felt very full of energy and life force. And think of how when you connect with your pulse, you're connecting with all of those moments and times in life and bringing that strong, healthy flow right to the moment, right into today. And again, just to remind you, if your pulse is jumping like a frog, it's a Pitta fire pulse. If your pulse is smooth and steady like a swan through a lake, it is a Kapha water earth pulse. And if it slithers in and out of feeling, you feel it one moment fast and then it's gone, no pulse. That would be slithering like a snake, Vata, air and space pulse. Okay. This next journey is about hugging oneself. So we call it embrace and breathe. So open your eyes or have them closed, whatever's comfortable for you. Notice your neighbors. And with that, whatever room you have, open your arms. At home, I want you to spread your arms really big. Here in the room, we might need to lower our hands, depending on what we can do. So breathing in, expanding out with the hands, filling the chest, exhaling and hugging yourself. Inhale and expand. Exhale and hug. Feel free to bend the knees or do what you need to make your back and your body happy. Going at your own pace. Inhale and expand. Allow, breathe in. Exhale, hug, and give to yourself. Really, really give to yourself. Inhale and allow. Receive. Exhale and give. Inhale. Let the energy go all the way through your fingertips, your toes, your belly, your hips, your legs. Exhale and bring it all in, back into the core of your body. Receiving it, receiving your own love right now. You can breathe in and out through the nose or breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Try different things. Experiment. See what it's like to breathe in and allow and fill up the legs, fill up the feet. Imagine the air is energy traveling through the whole body. Exhale and give that energy back to yourself at a deeper core level. One more breath. Deep breath in, open, expand, receive. Exhale and give, hug, collect. Now this is another one where we need a little room to move. So, and this is the twist. So we're going to want to be twisting at our own comfort zone. So if you have back issues or anything that bothers you with a twist, don't do it. Twist the hands if that's what you can twist, or the head if that's comfortable. And but if you are comfortable starting to twist, just gently begin the motion at whatever level feels right to you. You can also watch Isabel, and she'll do some Tai Chi slapping if you want. But my mic, I kind of like it. It's kind of shamanic. So thinking of an emotion you would like to release, let go of. It could be envy, it could be fear, it could be bad mood of some kind. Think of that, and as you twist, let it go. Just think of it being free, setting that emotion free, gone from you. Any emotion you want to let go of. And don't worry, you're not giving it to anyone near you. This emotion is free. It's free to transform. It's free to fly. It's free to dance. So you might want to even bring your hands up and your feet together while you twist. You can try that. Making your stomach strong if you're doing that. You might want to just twist with the hands and the wrist or the ankle, releasing any emotion you'd like to let go of. And you might need to shake it out too a little bit. So think of an emotion now that you tend to fall back to when you're low energy, and just think of it being free. Okay, cleansing and purifying the emotions with that one. And slowing it down now, slowing down the twist and just standing still. Feeling the ground support you. Your eyes can be open or closed. Focusing on the feet for a minute, really open up the toes and let them feel the earth. Feel the earth with the sides of the feet, the heel, and then notice the shins, and just bring your awareness up your legs, feeling the knees, the thighs, maybe they lift and rotate a little back, making more room in the center of the body. Feel the back of the legs, the hips, the belly. Feel that strength in the lower body supporting you. And letting your hands feel heavy, open, releasing in the middle of the body, the shoulders, the neck, the face, the back of the head, the top of the head. Imagine you're just surrounded by a color that you love. And all around you, that color protects you like a big, beautiful bubble. And you're connected to the earth. And all the good can come in through the bubble. It's easy to breathe in this bubble. And all the good can come out of your bubble. And this bubble extends to about a few feet in every direction of your body. And just feel the qualities of your bubble. Give it a magical texture. Maybe it shimmers or glows. And see if there's any word you want to put into your bubble. It could be a word that explains a place you love or an emotion. You might be more visual and you think of seeing something or hearing. And whenever we do visualizations during our practice, you do not have to see anything. Feel free to just feel it or say it without any stress about seeing. And next we're going to we can keep our bubble with us without noticing it. It's there to protect us and help us and ground us. But now reaching your hands forward, imagine that you're holding a very beautiful scene in your hands. Maybe you love the mountains or the ocean or the plains or a lake. Imagine that in front of you and then just bring it to your heart. Think of the face of someone you love, someone you appreciate. Hold that sense of them in your hands and bring this to your heart. Think of a wonderful vacation you've had in the past. Think of that vacation. Hold it in your hands, almost like you're making it more and more vivid. And bring that to your heart. Think of an animal you enjoy. Maybe it's a pet, maybe it's a wild animal, maybe it's a bird, or who knows. But think of that animal. Notice the qualities of that animal, the details, and bring them to your heart. Think of something you love to do, whether it's having your morning coffee or taking a walk or jumping out of an airplane. Whatever it is, think of something you love to do and hold it there in front of you and bring that to your heart. Now go at your own pace, thinking, and you can repeat them. Someone you love. Bring them to your heart. A place you love, an animal, an image, a sound, anything you want. Go at your own pace for a little while. And use your breath too. You may want to breathe them into your heart, or you may want to exhale as you imagine them. Use the breath the way it works for you right now. As you bring the next quality to your heart, imagine that it goes all the way through your body, into your core, in the belly, through the legs, into the feet, back up the body into the heart. And stay here for a moment, just feeling the full heart. And let's take 3 deep breaths together. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we breathe in, we're collecting energy and bringing it into our bodies. And as we exhale, we keep the energy, but we release the air. So breathing in. And as you breathe in, fill the entire body. And next we're going to go to the drum journey, feeling the flow in our heart. You can begin. I'm going to see what sound it makes on me with the mic. Begin to drum on your heart. And imagine that the earth is also your drum. And you can have a wacky drum that goes really fast, a slow drum. You do not need or want to keep in rhythm with the drums you're hearing. Make your own rhythm. And if you want to start playing a drum in front of you, and why don't you walk around the room, John, so people can hear the drum really near them too. And be loud with that drum, John. Be a shaman with that drum. Go for it. Get as intense or as gentle as you want with your drum. Drum on your tippy toes. Drum on the ceiling. Drum all around you. behind you, in front of you. If you want to go really low with your drum, you might want to jump with your body. You might want the ground to be your drum. Now drum on your legs. Give yourself a little massage anywhere you want, anywhere that needs it. Your arms, your shoulders. I like the sides of the legs. They're a good place to. Okay, and I guess we're gonna go a little more with the fast drum. And then the drum will slow down. The drum will be slowing down. And we'll start to feel our own inner drum again. We don't want to drop it you want to let it go easy. So let your hands move, let your body move as it wants to, releasing that drum and feeling your own inner flow. And all sounds are welcome. All right. So, music for energy ball now. We just made a lot of energy with our drumming. And I want you to start to feel the energy in your hands. And your energy ball might be large or small. But just focus on experiencing the sense of a ball between your hands. And as you do so, you might feel some sensations in your hands, like a tingling or a resistance. And see how it feels to make that to expand and make the ball bigger. Feel underneath and around. And just imagine beautiful light coming from your palm and filling the space between your hands. And now take this energy ball and think of a place in the world that you would like to give this energy to. And know that as you give it, you give to yourself as well. So giving the energy you have created and enjoying it at the same time. Now make a new ball, a new energy ball that you're going to give to your body. And see if it's different if you close your eyes while you make the energy ball. Notice those differences. And taking that energy ball now and giving it to a place in your body that would like energy today. And maybe it's more than one place. And just experience that ability of giving to yourself again. Notice it for a moment. We'll stand in stillness. We just brought a lot of energy in and we just want to experience it now for a moment. Feel it. Feel it both in your body and around your body. Notice if there continues to be energy around the hands, or maybe the head, or the shoulders, or the feet. And just let yourself go to where you notice. And be with whatever you're noticing. Be with whatever you're experiencing right now. Notice the way you're breathing. Notice the weight of your body balanced between both sides. The way you interact with the ground and the way you interact with the space around you and above you. And notice the spaciousness inside of your body. See if you can feel the quality of space right in your heart, in your abdomen, in your hips, your shoulders, your legs. Feel that spaciousness inside. And when you're ready, put your hands on your heart and take a deep breath in. And let's do one breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And wiggle anything out that wants to be wiggled. We're going to be going next. The music next will be for space travel. So we're going to sit down again. And I'll follow the music now more. Sorry, I've been going a little different directions. Okay, so this was the journey I was talking about in the beginning. Mark, if we could wait a moment for the music. If anyone has had any trauma where they needed to imagine leaving their body, this would be one to stay eyes open, just aware of yourself, stretch your hamstrings or your hands or something else. But for everyone else, let's begin by just gently taking your hands and feeling the top of your clothing through your hands. And then turning the hands over, feeling the clothing, the legs through the back of your hands. And then turning them again through the palms of your hand, creating that friction. And gently bring the hands up so you just feel the space between your legs and your hands. And letting the hands create more spaciousness as they move away from the body. And as the hands gently move upwards into the air, imagine that you are just like a bird. If you don't like birds, imagine that you're in a very special spacesuit. And think of going to a tree nearby and resting on a branch of a tree. Notice what the quality is of the wind. Is there a wind or a breeze? Does the tree's leaves gently rustle? And when you're ready, either as yourself or a bird or in a special spacesuit, float with the wind. And just let the wind take you now. Gliding through the air, wherever you want to be. Could be over the ocean, over a town, a garden. And notice what you see. Notice what it feels like to be so free that you can fly. And knowing that you're always connected to your core self, as though there was a beautiful golden string connecting you to yourself sitting in the room. But now you're free to explore through the air, seeing what you see, feeling what you feel as you glide, or float, or soar through the air. you're ready, hearing birds call to you through the trees, call yourself back home into the moment, into the body, as though that golden cord just gently becomes shorter and shorter, connecting you with your body. And noticing your hands, they may be in the air, they may be on your legs or the ground. Bring your awareness to your hands. And then bring your awareness to your feet. Wiggle your toes. And let your hands fall to your lap or your legs or the ground if you're lying down. And notice how the body feels now after you've traveled like a bird through air or wind, or you floated. Just notice the effects inside your system. Notice how the face feels from the inside. How does the face feel on the inside? How does the back body feel? Bring your sensitivity to your back body. And see if you can bring a little space and movement to the back body, gently like a breeze. And next we're going to go on a water journey. So thinking of a kind of water that you really enjoy. This could be a lake, an ocean, a river, a bathtub, a pool, a jacuzzi. Anything works. A creek, a stream, a waterfall. And imagine you're there by the body of water that you enjoy. And begin to sense what the water is like. Is it calm? Are there waves? Is it warm or cold? How does the air interact with the water? And begin to allow yourself to enter the water. Maybe just your feet, maybe your whole body or your hands. Do you float? Do you swim? Do you stand? Just notice how it feels to be in water. Music, louder. Let the music take you on a journey through the water. You may have animal friends there in the water with you. There may be people or mythical beings there to support and help you. Feel the entire body as it interacts with water. And if you want to experience what it's like to breathe underwater, just imagine that you can breathe underwater and see where you go in the water. Notice if anyone is there with you in the water and if they tell you anything or show you anything. Change the water if you want to change it. Make it more clear or more salty to lift you or more still. However you want the water to be, just imagine it. And when you're ready, leaving the water, you're going to leave the water now as a being of your making, an avatar. Decide how you want to be. Maybe you want to be very tall or very small. Maybe you're a combination of things, part animal or mythical being, or maybe you're perfect as yourself. But imagine this avatar walking through a landscape. Any landscape that feels right to you. And create this landscape. Is it a forest or a town or a village? Or is it a field? Are there high places, low places? Just start exploring this landscape as you walk through it. Noticing the texture of the ground. Who else inhabits this landscape? Are there people, animals, buildings, plants, insects? Notice the temperature. Notice the quality of the air. Notice the sound. And when you're ready, find a very special cave or room. Notice what the door looks like. And open the door. And this is a special room or cave just for you. And there in this space, there's a present for you. Discover the present. If it's wrapped, open it. And decide what you'd like to do with this present. Do you want to keep it with you as an image, or a feeling, or a sound? Do you want to give it back to the room or to someone else? And when you're ready, look around the room one last time. Notice its details, notice its lighting, notice the floor, the ceiling, the walls, whether it's a natural room or a man-made room. Thank it for the present that it gave you. The present might just come in a glimpse, like a quick flash, a sense of it. And then when you're ready, leave the room, closing the door, and walk back through the landscape of your creation, noticing all that you can notice. And as you come back to the water, as though you were just stepping out of your avatar, feel your own body, move your head, move your shoulders, your hands. Find this body here and now. And you may want to massage your legs or your arms, just connecting for a moment with this skin, this muscle, this bone. You may want to massage each finger. And if you can, if you have room, you can lie down. Maybe some people will have room here. We'll see if we're really cozy. Okay, but if everyone's lying down, I'm going to lie down. Do your best. We've never done that before here, that we actually, I can't lie down. I have a mic, so I'm sitting. So we're going to now just do corpse pose. So you do not need to lie down. Just let yourself go right now into the moment, doing nothing, being nothing, dying into the moment, letting the ground support you, letting the body breathe and relax, feel heavy. Bringing your awareness like a warm, soothing oil to your head, and letting that soothing warmth go down your neck, to your shoulders, through your a soothing, warm texture. Maybe it's gold, and it just flows over your body, bringing warmth and stillness through the chest, the belly, the hips, the legs, the back body, all the way down the legs, the knees, the shins, the calves, the feet. And just feel this warmth holding you, as though you could just melt right now into the ground. And let go even more now. Just let go a little more. Is there anything you're holding up? Anything in you, whether it's an emotion or a physical stress or a thought that you just want to be soaked in this warm, beautiful golden light that soothes you. Just let it be soothed in that. And when you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and come up to a sitting position, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm going to bring your memories into play right now. I'd like you to remember a time when you were in a really good mood. Maybe you got some great news. Maybe you were doing something you love to do. And just imagine that time. And consider to yourself, if you're in a really good mood and someone tries to annoy you or pick a fight with you, is it pretty easy to just let that go? I find that it's pretty easy if I'm feeling really good, if I'm very happy. Very hard to have any kind of argument with anyone or to have anyone else's emotions stick to me. So we can bring joy into our experience by remembering a joyful time, also by thinking about getting excited. So can you remember being a child and doing something that was exciting, maybe running down a hill very quickly or racing on your bicycle? So be in the body of yourself at an age when it was very easy to feel excitement and joy. And just be in that. Maybe it's a little jumpy, maybe it's like tingly inside, maybe it's in the face, the joy, or maybe it's in the feet, I don't know. But let yourself just imagine being a child who's excited. Maybe it's Christmas morning, or you just saw snow for the first time, or you're at a park playing. Just remember that for a minute. And see if your body wants to wiggle a little back and forth, if it's comfortable for your spine and your knees. And just let that be there. And imagining that there is a shiny, glowing quality in you that just fills you up, maybe from the bottom up, maybe from the center, maybe in your throat or your face. But just imagine that kind of light in you, glowing and being that excited self from the past, but bringing that right now into today, your excitement today. What will you do? What will you share? Who will you be with? Will you get to do something alone? And just feel that sense of yourself right now in this form of joyfulness that you bring into yourself. And allow the hands to express that. Allow the face. Imagine that there's a smile not just on your face, but also in your throat, in your heart. Let that smile move through you. Let that smile be in your back body, in your elbows. let that smile be in your side body, and just feel what it's like right in the center of you, right now. And take a deep breath in and out through the mouth. One more time. Okay, one more. Bring in all that energy and let it all out, keeping the energy, letting out the air. Excellent, excellent. Now we're going to stand up again. And for those of us here, but those at home too, here we are working on our self as a life coach and what we're going to bring into our communities and into ourself. So I want you to begin, and at home, whatever you do, just start to think about what some of your core values are. And I actually like to move as I think. So I might move in a circle. I might move as though I'm walking, swaying. Let the body help you to think. And let a certain quality that you would like to really be present with you come to your awareness. This could be an emotional quality. It could be a value. It could be a way you serve others. As you walk, let that speak to you. Maybe there are 3 keywords. And see if you can find places in the body to put those words that resonate with your body, your words today. And this might be a quality that you've had for a long time. Like maybe you're very trusting or very loyal or very curious or very loving. Or maybe you're funny. Or maybe you're wonderfully critical. And just enjoy that quality and see how do I want this to interact with the world? And see what comes to you. And now, if you're not walking, begin to walk and imagine you're on a path going up a hill and you're walking with your life, seeing your life in little pieces as you walk from when you were a child, noticing the good, noticing the challenges, noticing any helpers along the way, nod to them, ancestors that present to you. And as you walk with your story, remember you have your values with you. You have those keywords with you. So let that be like a special flow in you, a special kind of clothing you wear that protects you and guides you and helps you see the story of your life. And walk into today. Think of your life right now, the different parts of your life. And bring that quality that is special to you, that you're highlighting in yourself, to those different parts of your life. Bring that quality in your imagination right now to your relationships, to the work you do, to what you want to bring into your life, whether it's a hobby or a person or a profession. Bring that quality to that you want to add in and include in your life. And let your walk now be more inclusive. How does it look to move in a way where you're including that quality and adding something into your life? How does that look? How does that feel? Where do you add it in? And now you're really getting to a hard part of the hill. You're gonna with all that strength go up that hill. You might even jog up the hill or climb the hill. I don't know. However you need to move, or you might be a very slow way up the hill. But when you get to that top of the hill, I'm gonna wait for everybody to get there. We're all going at a different pace. We all have different hills. So, okay, now when you're at the top of that hill, I want you to notice a beautiful view. Maybe there's a valley below. Maybe you can see a body of water, many little houses or trees. And notice that to your left is your past, your life story, all that you've experienced and been. And then to your right is your future. And here you are right in the middle, looking at the past and at the future. And you're standing right here, very, very confident and strong on top of this hill, noticing the past and allowing the future to be there as well. And just let those two be with you. The past and the future and the now are all together, all one, as though they were just parts of the body. And see if you can bring that into the body. Let the past be one side and the future one side, and let the present be the core. And then bringing the hands together, bringing the past and the future right into today, experiencing how right now you get to choose where your focus is, whether you're looking behind you or ahead or right at what's in front of you. You get to make this choice every moment. And now we're going to go in to our next journey. And that is sitting down. We're going to do the equanimity practice. So we need music for the equanimity practice. So this one takes some focus, and it really helps us to develop our concentration, but it also works on our emotions to kind of become more neutral. Equanimity can be thought of as a stillness within a storm, or the ability to not get swayed emotionally in many directions and to feel that inner presence. So we're going to begin by imagining a stranger, someone who maybe served you coffee recently or you saw in a hallway, just a stranger. Maybe they live in your neighborhood, but you don't know them. And I use my hands to help my visualization. So just imagine this stranger right in front of you. And now to your right, imagine someone you love dearly, a very good friend, someone you really care for on your right. So stranger in front of you, person you love on your right. Now imagine on your left side someone who triggers you a little bit, who maybe you wouldn't call them an enemy, maybe you love them also, but they tend to trigger you a bit. So the triggering person on your left, stranger in front, friend, loved one on the right. Now I want you to swap the friend with the person who triggers you. Just swap them over your head. So trigger person on the right, friend on the left, stranger in front. Now let's take trigger person right to the front and move stranger to the right. So stranger on the right, friend on the left, trigger person in front. And just notice these different positions. And make a new decision right now where you're going to put them. Put trigger person in one position. Put friend in another position. Put stranger in another position. You don't have to even use your memory right now. Just choose a spot for each and feel it yourself. Now swap them. Mix them around a bit. Stranger in front, friend on the left, trigger on the right. And just notice how these are all just positions around you that you create, and you can move them very easily. And even just let your hands do the moving without visualizing or imagining anyone. Just allow yourself to feel as though you can just magically move these different people in their position, kind of confusing them a little bit. Trigger person doesn't know where they go anymore, and stranger has just floated over to the right, and friend might be right there in front of you. I don't know. Okay. So that's the equanimity practice. And it's just to consider these different ways we relate to others and have fun with them. Creates an easiness. And now we're almost done. We're at our last two journeys. And this next one is a juggling journey. So we're going to stand up again. And we are going to pretend to be in a circus, clowns in a circus. And I want you to have two emotions in each hand. So let's start with call out an emotion, someone. Happy. Happy in the right and sad on the left. And start to juggle happy and sad. And I don't know how fast your balls go, but you decide. Maybe they're slow, maybe they're fast. Happy, sad, happy, sad. And now add a third emotion. I'm going to add scared. Scared, happy, sad. Scared, happy, sad. Scared, happy, sad. Oh, I'm going to drop sad. Oh, bye, sad. I'm going to add excitement. Excitement, happy, scared. Excitement, happy, scared. Go at your own pace and choose a new emotion. Drop an emotion when you want to. Really? Angry. And choose your own now, guys. Use others if you want some, or choose your own. And go at your own pace. You might want to slow it down and just let one ball go up and down for a little while. Drop all your balls and get new balls. Think about your whole body as a juggle. What do jugglers do? Do they go down lower? Do they go up higher? Do they do both? And when you're ready, catch all those emotions in one hand, then the other. Gently drop them and roll them away. And we are going to start to make some circles. So let's just begin with our wrists. Making circles however you wish with your hands. And then as your body allows you, imagine you have a pen at the top of your head and slowly start to draw a circle on the ceiling. And then make a circle with your shoulders. And go in the other direction if it feels good for you. And back again, moving your shoulders up and back and down and around, making circles. Making circles with your hips and going in the opposite direction. And with your knees, little gentle with the knees, let little circles be there. And now lifting one foot, see if you can make a circle on the ground with your toe. And then with the other toe. Now walking in the shape of an infinity sign. You guys know an infinity sign? It goes like that, like two circles together joining in the middle. As you walk your infinity sign, allow any thoughts, images, words from your past to come into the present, meaningful words, meaningful thoughts or experiences. And also think about that future and allow any images, thoughts, feelings about the future that you want to have there to come into your infinity sign. And when you're ready, coming to the center of your infinity sign and taking a moment to connect with the ground, to feel gratitude for yourself, for showing up and experiencing something new. Remembering any moments from any of the journeys today that were special for you, how they felt, or a quality. And letting your energy go out to all the others today practicing 21 journeys with you, and just feel that connection to the group you're with, to the friends all over the world doing this practice with us, and feel that support. And if support had an image or a sound or a texture, what would support feel like? Let yourself feel it. And if there's anyone in the world that you want to send some of what you have experienced, whether it's peace or flexibility or joy or some good emotion, send it right now to those people somewhere in the world that you care for. Send it to a place in the world that needs your good thoughts, your good energy, a part of the planet that needs it, maybe the waters of the earth, the trees, the ground, the air, the animals, and just be with your own ability to wish well for others around the world. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and breathe it out through the mouth. Okay, thank you guys for practicing. So we're going to take a little time to kind of process and talk and share. Feel free to sit down. If John or Jeremy, you can hand a mic out, or Isabel. Sometimes it's nice if something surprised us or we had a strong experience of some kind to be able to share it with others and not kind of hold on to it. Also, this practice sometimes brings a lot of upward energy for people. So if you need to ground yourself, you can imagine that you're leaning against a rock or a tree, especially if you're at home. You can just really spend a few minutes imagining that solid nature of a tree or a rock. Here in the room, we have friends that do energy work, and we can ask for help after we talk a little bit. Sometimes it's really helpful just to, I make good sounds when I do this, pound on this muscle. I need the physical fitness. What's this muscle? What is this? Trapezius, yeah. That helps ground. So I've heard. So anyone have a question? Anyone have a thought about how they might use this with a client? Anyone have a share? Yes. Okay, let's give you a mic just so everyone can hear you. Great.
So I'm a water person, and yes. when you ask to become a creature or become lighter, I also race sailboats, and I do the spinnaker, which means you let it. It's like a kite.
A little closer. You do a kite with a surfboard?
Well, a spinnaker is like a kite, and you can let a spinnaker out like 50 yards, and it becomes really small.
Yeah.
And I've done energy work where you have a pink circle around you, a blue circle around you, and a golden thread.
Hold a little closer, yeah, golden thread.
And a golden thread. And so I imagine myself at my dock at my cottage in Wisconsin. We have an eagle's nest above our boathouse. So I went up like this bubble, and I became an eagle's baby. And then every body of water in my life popped up, like Bridal Veil Falls. You said the waterfall?
Yeah.
And then I circled around my lake above where I used to water ski. And then like every lake, every body of water I've been near. I live in Menlo Park now. I went around. It was just really cool. And then you said come back, and I pulled myself down like a kite.
Nice. I love really that cool. Metaphor. Like, that's
don't
great.
Stop this one. Keep doing this one. Don't come back. I was like, I didn't want to come back. It was very cool. So
and that's good to notice that. And actually tonight, maybe before you go to sleep, go back there.
Yeah.
Let yourself dream about it. Sometimes these journeys kind of keep working on us when we dream at night also, or when we relax. Yes. I'd also love shares from home too, so feel free to let people know.
An exercise that I really think I'm going to use it, not only with myself, also with my family and clients. It's the one, I forgot the name, but it's the when you imagine a stranger and you put in
the equanimity practice.
And then someone who you love and someone who you triggers. It's just amazing. So you just switch in and just imagine that. Then you get confused. What's your feeling? You know, just like somebody who triggers you. And I was making the faces, but then it's like going around and then same feeling. So I think that was a very, very powerful exercise. Thank you.
Great. Absolutely. And I have a little story about that one. I used it with a client who is a lawyer in a law office with a boss that she was really triggered by. And the reason she came to coaching was to be able to work better with her boss. And she just did that practice every day for a couple of weeks. And then she invited her boss out to lunch. She started to understand her. Actually, the boss moved on to another office, and they stayed friends. But it was really interesting how just doing that, I didn't really have to do any coaching. She did that on her own every day. And in a matter of weeks, she felt much more neutral about the person and could go out with them. I call it an equanimity practice. It comes from Tibetan Buddhism. I don't actually know where I first learned it. But you can Google equanimity practices, and there's a bunch of different ones. Yeah.
The funny thing that happened when I was switching people around is they started bumping into each other and laughing with each other, and then they kind of hugged each other, so that settled everything down.
Well, how beautiful. And you could use that exact thing with someone else to help them. You know, we can take the experiences we have and then share that with a friend or a client and give them the same taste that you got.
It was fun.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Yes. Back there. Yeah. And over here. And also, if anything made you uncomfortable or you had a question come up or something, that's also great to ask.
Something that was amazing is I didn't cry, and usually yoga makes me cry because emotions run deep, is I was on that hike, and when I got to the top of the hill and I opened the door of the cave, my mother that has passed when I was 14 was the gift. It wasn't materialistic, it wasn't money, it wasn't a car, and she was beautiful. And she was healthy, and it was like she just had this angel thing around her. Mm-hmm. And then I said goodbye, and she was happy. And I feel closure. It was amazing.
I'm so glad.
Now I'm crying.
But it's good to cry. Good to cry. I'm so happy that happened. And I never want to introduce it in the beginning and plant it, but usually during this process, at least a few people have some ancestors come in to one of the journeys in some way.
Yes. When we were bringing in the emotion, and so I brought in certainty and security, and that's something that I feel like I've been lacking in my life probably as long as I can remember. And so I brought it into kind of around my lower, my second chakra, and I felt this sense of, and then I've also brought in being a life coach as well, so that being a secure certainty as a life coach, and I just felt that empowerment, and instead of always feeling like I'm looking for that security or trying to find it, and even no matter how much I have of it, still feeling the lack of it, it was just a real embodiment of it. It was
wonderful. That was so good. Yeah, and let that keep being with you, tonight, whenever you're lying down, just call that in again. Yeah.
The one I really liked was when we were like an animal or an avatar.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know why I imagined myself as a gorilla.
That's great.
I was going through the trees, so that was really happy. And I remember when we opened the door and we looked for the gift. So I see the box, like a little cave inside the tree. And when I opened the box, there was nothing. So that's like a reminder for myself to stop looking for something, for people, to things to make you happy. It's like you are part of life. So
it was really something.
yeah, you don't need
that's
anything. It's
great.
like, so
I love
that
that.
was it. Thank you.
I love that. Also, I wanted to mention kind of my own share. I don't visualize a lot of things anymore. Sometimes I visualize a little now, but after many, many years of meditating a lot, my visual thinking kind of stopped. And so when I do these, I try to let people know that's okay, that it's okay if you don't see things like a movie or in pictures. You can just feel them or think them in words. So whenever you're using any guided meditation, don't criticize yourself if you don't see it. We're not all wired to see things, and that's good. I had to reassure myself when that stopped, because I was a very visual person before. So
I think the exercise that we were kind of calling in some emotions, and the 3 words, I may mix these up, but this is what happened, was compassion, curiosity, and celebration. And then when I'm not going to.
And they're all C's.
They're all C's. And then when we were doing the exercise with the life journey,
Yeah.
which is like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh wow. I was just infusing those 3 words along the, like, just visualizing, oh my gosh, there's so many things to just be, I wonder why that happened. Oh, that was really cool. So it was kind of self-healing.
Compassion, curiosity,
and celebration.
And celebration.
Yeah, that was nice to have those to infuse, because, sometimes.
They're a very good trio. Those are good trios.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you.
Thank you. I love that. I'm covered in rug, I realize.
I guess I'll have the other side. I was really enjoying the whole experience. But I got hung up, and I'm always like, my whole prevailing question's always been like, am I doing it right?
Uh-huh.
And so I've learned to kind of live with that and just experience that feeling of like,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking, am I doing it right? Okay, that's kind of funny, cool. But then I was feeling really good about it, and I got to the 3 words, and I couldn't get the 3 words, and I'm like, oh, get the 3 words, and I'm like, ah. And then like the wrong words weren't coming right. So that's not a word. That's not the right. That's negative. No, that's not right. So it's like, and then I got a little stuck, and I kind of laughed at myself and said, okay, that's funny. We'll just move on. You'll figure it out later. Don't worry about it. It's just a feeling. You're enjoying this. Just it's fine. But 21, it's not too bad. To like not get 3 words. Seriously.
Yeah.
So perfectionist.
Yeah. So like my hope for people doing this is that they have maybe 3 good experiences in it. And the rest of it might be a little frustrating, might feel a little hard in one way or another, but it's actually a practice that's meant to be done once a week, and to build skill in all those different things. So not having 3 words is like, nothing. So yeah, and let maybe those words will come today during different sessions. So invite the question, what are my most 3 important values or qualities? Just invite that in during the day. I'm sure there's lots of you who didn't have 3 words. I didn't have 3 words come to me either. So, let them come today. That might be a gift for today. Yeah.
So mine wasn't really so much the visualization. I've done some good amount of breath work and some shamanic journey. But I was doing one of the practice sessions on the phone recently, and like the water, the earth, the fire. I've never really labeled it, just because I'm kind of like the guy from Ireland. I just like go with the flow. It's like whatever. I feel like I'm just like everything.
Yeah.
But last week on the call, I was talking to one of the gals, and she was like, "You're a fire for sure." And I was like, "Okay, But as soon as we did that, and the first one was Peter was fire, it was just like boom, boom. I was like, "Oh shit." Okay, like I'm a fire, and it makes
Good
sense.
to know.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. But the experience was good. Yeah.
And the other thing about that is sometimes at a point in our life we're more fire, another point we're more water, another point we're more earth. It even can change during the course of a day. But the pulse is a really strong way to experience that. And it just like, if you're interested in any of that, you can read a simple book on Ayurveda that talks about these different doshas and qualities. And there's always ways to help. If like you're more air, you might get dry skin, you might tend towards more anxiety or more like big thinking that then makes you feel ungrounded. That would be the air, not the fire. And so this philosophy gives you tools for helping to kind of counter what might get a little out of control because one of those qualities. Then there are actually people out there who are all three. They're called tridoshic. And they're like this wonderful balance. And you can never figure out what they are. It's really fun. So you might have a little bit of that too, You might be kind of tridoshic.
So, admittedly, I often struggle to use these esoteric exercises like in a real context. But I work in an ER, and oftentimes we have patients either physically or verbally attacking. And I realized the other day that I actually used that revolver method of like the 3 people.
Yeah.
Kind of had a patient attacking me. I left the room, and I realized I wasn't really showing up for that person kind of as the best I could, like as a healer. And the next time I walked into the room, I realized I had switched them to another role, and it totally changed me. Like they were acting the same, but you could tell that it shifted.
But it was your reaction.
And I didn't realize that that's kind of what I was doing. So there's my practical application of that.
That's great. I love to hear that you do that. And ask questions later in the training, anything that we can help with the work. That's so important to be in an ER. Yeah.
Well, that experience for me was incredible, especially the part when I climbed the mountain.
Yes.
And when I get to the top, I see the past. You mentioned see the past on your left and the future on your right. But it came to my mind at that moment, and I related with the eagle when you mentioned the bird. And it came to my mind the metaphor when the eagle grew around the chickens and learned to be a chicken instead of being an eagle. And at that moment I said, "It's my moment. If I keep to be a chicken and stay on the ground, or spread my wings and fly."
Wow.
And I decided to spread my wings and fly. And
Good
from today, I decide to keep going on my plans, and I believe in God, and God is with me, and I'll be there. And as an eagle, I can see the panoramic around me and help others to see the same.
Yeah.
What was my experience today. Thank you.
That is great. Thank you. Absolutely. And so you guys know that journey, that part you can use that instead of the life story exercise with a client. You see how that might be easier for someone to kind of imagine they're walking through their story. They see the good, the challenging, and kind of they can go faster through parts. And then they get to that mountaintop and they see the past and the future, but they feel their presence and they're really allowing a joining together in the moment. And so that's an alternative, just so you guys know.
Megali, first, thank you. It was so amazing. I was so looking forward to this one. Actually, I even subscribed to the email once you sent, although I'm here.
Yeah, I subscribed anyway.
Because I want to get replay. I work with my body as well, all my life. I used to be a dancer sometime before.
Yeah.
And I understand the power of the body, which I think is so undervalued in our world.
Yeah.
Even in the coaching practice, it's like everybody is like thinking, we are reading books, we are just like staying. Even meditation is basically most of the time sitting.
Yeah.
It's not really moving. But actually, when you are in the move, then when real energy can just come. I'm very happy because I really appreciate mostly your things and the mix with Ayurveda and with the body. It's like incredibly
And
important.
bring that to all your coaching. Since that's your interest, do that with every client. Everyone's got a body. We should all use it a little bit. So if you like to do that work, I would combine it.
And that's exactly where I would like to point, because I decided that one of the things I want to get out of these 4 days to find out how I can do that.
Okay, so
how
let's
I can bring more like dance, like more of that's just like
let's
working
bring
with
a little
it.
bit of that somatic coaching to one of the sessions in the next few days. I'll think about it, but I'm going to do that. Okay.
That would be amazing, and then
Okay.
also to hear more about your experiences about how you really use it in practical work with the people. You asked it at the beginning, and I'm just giving back to you just ask for like
how
maybe
to do
not
that,
right,
how to combine them.
Yeah, exactly. When is the right moment? How do you feel like this is so important?
Okay, so when
that's
we're
what I
back
would like
in coaching mode, let's brainstorm. I want you guys to bring me some examples of people from your life, and we'll do a little brainstorming about how we work with them, combining the somatic awareness with the coaching strategies.
Thank you.
Great. I wanted, because you mentioned it, I wanted everyone at home to know and everyone here to know you guys are getting that you're getting a replay. And you guys actually here, you get the entire event it takes us about a month, but you get it all on a website for you to always have. So, that's yeah.
I just want to say that combination was great, definitely for me anyway. I could feel myself letting down shields and barriers were just dropping, walls falling.
Good.
And in the end, I find it very vulnerable, actually. A lot of acceptance, but when this man said he got a present of nothing, I related to that because I got a present of nothing as well. But today I knew exactly what it was, because as there is no coincidences, as we know there is no coincidence, coincidentally then, at breakfast this morning I had a conversation, or should I say fortunately or unfortunately, I had a conversation this morning with Robert about Lao Tzu and the void and how everything happens in the void, and then I got a present of the void.
Oh, I love
in the
that.
tunnel.
Wonderful.
That was, I knew exactly where I was going
So
with
glad.
that.
Yeah, I was wondering how you would like this. Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Absolutely.